Get down on your living room carpet, press a clean white towel into the fibers with your body weight, and hold it for 10 seconds. Now look at the towel. If it came up gray or brown, that carpet is not clean. And if you paid to have it professionally cleaned in the last 6 months, it should not be doing that yet. A professional carpet cleaning runs $120 to $250 for a couple of rooms. Add a pet treatment and you are at $300 or $400. A sofa is quoted separately at $150 to $250. A mattress is $75 to $200. And most households book this every year, forever, because the carpet always ends up looking the way it did before. The bottle that handles most of what they charge for costs about $1, and it is in your bathroom cabinet right now. Carpet cleaners know exactly what hydrogen peroxide does. It is not a secret in the trade. It is the working ingredient in half the oxygen powders in the supermarket cleaning aisle. They just have no reason to tell you which jobs take 20 minutes and $1, because those are the jobs billed as a minimum service call. And number 5 is the one to watch for. It explains something almost everybody has noticed, and nobody has ever explained to them: why a carpet gets dirty again 3 weeks after you paid good money to have it cleaned. That one's worth $400 a year on its own. So, what's actually in that brown bottle? Hydrogen peroxide is water with one extra oxygen atom bolted on. That atom is unstable. It wants to leave, and when it leaves, it grabs whatever is nearby and tears it apart chemically. A stain is not dirt sitting on top of a fiber. It is a molecule that got inside the fiber, and that molecule has a shape which reflects light as a color. Coffee, red wine, blood, pet accidents. Different substances, same underlying problem. When peroxide releases that spare oxygen atom into a stain, it breaks the shape. It does not lift the stain out, and it does not hide it. The stain stops existing as a color, and then the peroxide turns back into water and oxygen gas. Nothing left behind. No film, no residue, nothing sitting in the carpet afterward. Hold on to that. It explains number 5. One rule first. Plain 3% peroxide, the brown bottle from any pharmacy, about $1. Not 35%, not the food-grade jugs. That stuff burns skin and has no business in your house. And test a hidden spot on any new fabric before you commit. Number 1. It removes coffee and tea rings that carpet-safe cleaners quietly set forever. Coffee and tea stain through tannins, the same compounds that stain the inside of a mug. Tannins bond to fiber and keep oxidizing, which is why a coffee spill looks worse on day 4 than on day 1. Here's the trap. Most supermarket carpet sprays are soap. Soap is excellent at surrounding a particle of dirt and floating it away, and useless against a tannin bonded inside a nylon strand. You scrub, the surface fades, it feels like it worked, and it comes back up brown a week later. That's what "the stain came back" actually means. Blot with a dry white towel. Press, don't rub, rubbing drives it deeper. Then pour peroxide straight on until the spot is damp through, not flooded. 30 minutes, blot, air dry. Fresh spills go in one pass. A year-old stain takes 2 or 3 rounds. A spot treatment call-out has a minimum charge of $75 to $125 before anyone touches your floor. Number 2. It takes out red wine, and the salt trick you were taught makes it harder. Salt pulls some liquid up in the first 60 seconds, which is genuinely useful. After that, it does nothing but leave you a damp pile of pink salt and a stain that's had 5 extra minutes to bond. Red wine is anthocyanin, the dye in grape skin. It's one of the most reactive color molecules you'll ever meet. Bad news on your floor. Very good news the moment an oxidizer shows up. Blot hard. Then mix 1 part peroxide with 1 part dish soap. A tablespoon of each covers a wine glass spill. Work it in with your fingertips. Wait 20 minutes. Blot with cool water. You can usually watch the red go, not fade, but go. The dish soap does exactly one job. It holds the peroxide against the fiber long enough to react, instead of running down into the pad. Professional wine removal is quoted at $90 to $150 a spot. This costs 11 cents. Number 3. It lifts blood, but only if you never let hot water near it. There's a piece of biology here that almost nobody knows, and it makes blood the easiest stain on this list and the one people ruin fastest. Blood contains an enzyme called catalase, and catalase exists to break down hydrogen peroxide. That's why peroxide foams white on a cut. The foam isn't disinfectant working. It's the enzyme splitting peroxide into water and oxygen, and that oxygen physically lifts the blood up out of the fiber. So peroxide doesn't just bleach blood. It gets mechanical help from the blood itself. Cold water only. Blood is protein, and protein cooks. Hot water sets the stain permanently, and once it's set, nothing gets it out. Same reason you never wash a bloody shirt on hot. Blot, rinse cold, pour peroxide on. It foams immediately. That's your confirmation. 5 minutes blot, repeat if there's a shadow. Weeks-old dried blood still comes out. It just needs 2 or 3 rounds. Number 4. It kills pet vomit stains, including the yellow bile ring. Nothing else touches. You've got 2 stains layered on each other, which is why the standard cleaner half works and leaves a yellow halo. The chunks and the pigment come out with soap. But bile, that yellow-green edge, is bilirubin, a pigment from your pet's liver. It's chemically closer to a dye than to dirt, and no amount of soap removes a dye. That ring is why people end up calling somebody. Scrape the solids with a spoon, working outside in so you don't spread the edge. Then 1 part peroxide to 1 part warm water. Saturate the whole area, plus 2 inches past the yellow, 45 minutes. Bilirubin is stubborn. Blot cold afterward. Now, the next one is the reason I made this video. Number 5. It strips the soap residue that makes your carpet dirty again 3 weeks after you paid to have it cleaned. Think about what you've noticed. The cleaner leaves, the carpet looks incredible. 2 weeks later, a gray path is forming down the hallway, and by week 4, it looks about like it did before you spent $250. And everybody reaches the same conclusion. My carpet is just old. Your carpet is not old. Your carpet is sticky. Almost every professional hot water extraction uses a detergent. Detergent molecules have one end that grabs oil and one end that grabs water, and that design is what lifts soil. And it's also what makes them nearly impossible to rinse out of a dense pile. You'd need far more clean water passes than any technician on a schedule has time for. So a film of surfactant stays in the fiber, and that film still has a working oil-grabbing end pointed up at the room, which means for the next several weeks, your carpet is chemically reaching out and holding on to every particle of dust, skin, and shoe oil that lands on it. It isn't getting dirty at a normal rate. It's actively collecting. That's your traffic lane. That's the gray path down the hall. Now go back to what I told you at the start. Peroxide breaks down into water and oxygen. It leaves nothing. There's no molecule left in that carpet for dirt to stick to. Here's the reset. 1 cup of peroxide into a gallon of hot tap water. Hot, not boiling, because boiling water damages backing adhesive. 1 room at a time. Mist the carpet lightly with a garden sprayer. Damp, not soaked. If you can squeeze water out of the pile you've used far too much, and you're about to grow mold underneath. 15 minutes. Then go over it with a wet-dry shop vacuum or a rented extractor with plain water in the tank and nothing else. You're not cleaning the carpet, you're rinsing the soap out of it. Do this once after any professional clean and once mid-year. What most people find is that the traffic lanes stop returning on the old schedule, and the cleaner they booked twice a year gets booked once. That's $150 to $250 off your year immediately, plus another visit avoided because the carpet stopped looking like it needed rescuing. Call it $400. And it's never in the quote, because no technician is going to hand you the reason their own last visit didn't hold. Now let me be fair, because I don't want to oversell this. A good carpet cleaner is worth the money. A truck-mounted extractor pulls soil out at a pressure you cannot reproduce with a rental machine. And on a badly neglected carpet, that difference is enormous. My point is narrower than never hire anyone. Most of what gets billed is spot work and maintenance, the 20-minute jobs. Do those yourself for pennies, and when you do pay someone, you're paying for work that actually requires them. Number 6. Pet urine done honestly, including the part where peroxide isn't enough. Every list like this tells you peroxide removes pet urine. That's half true, and the missing half is why people give up and pay $400 later. Urine dries into uric acid crystals. They don't dissolve in water, so they sit in the fiber and the pad indefinitely, and every time humidity rises, they reactivate, and the room smells like it happened yesterday. Peroxide destroys the yellow stain and knocks the odor down. It does not dismantle uric acid. Only an enzymatic cleaner does, because enzymes digest the crystals. So you do both, in order. First, find them. Lights off, go over the floor with a cheap ultraviolet black light, $10 to $15. Dried urine glows dull yellow-green. Almost everyone doing this the first time finds the problem is 3 or 4 times bigger than they thought, and that is exactly the information the pet treatment upcharge is priced on. Mark the edges with painter's tape. Mix 1 cup peroxide, a teaspoon of dish soap, a tablespoon of baking soda, fresh, in an open container, used within the hour. Never store that mix in a sealed bottle. It releases oxygen gas and pressure builds. Saturate the marked area plus 4 inches past every edge because urine spreads far wider in the pad than the stain shows on top. 1 hour, blot, dry fully. Then apply an enzymatic pet cleaner over the same spot and let it dry naturally, uncovered. Peroxide handles the color and the bacteria. Enzymes handle the salts. Neither finishes alone, and the reason so many people conclude nothing works on cat urine is that they've only ever been sold 1/2 of a 2-part problem. Professional pet urine treatment runs $150 to $400, depending on what that black light finds. Number 7. It clears the yellow bloom on a mattress that everybody assumes is permanent. Flip your mattress and look at it in daylight. Those yellow-brown clouds are body oils and sweat that oxidized over years, the same browning reaction as a cut apple on the counter. People buy a protector to hide it, replace a structurally perfect mattress out of embarrassment, or pay $75 to $200 for a specialist to steam it. Steam does very little to oxidized oil and adds a lot of moisture to something that takes days to dry. Strip it. 1 cup peroxide, 3 tablespoons baking soda, 1 teaspoon dish soap. Sponge it onto the yellow rather than pouring. Surface damp, core dry. 1 hour, wipe with a barely damp cloth, then leave the mattress bare with a fan on it for 4 hours minimum. Bare is critical. A mattress put back into a fitted sheet, damp, is a mold problem waiting 3 days to introduce itself. Number 8. It cleans a fabric sofa without the water rings that make people give up. The reason home upholstery cleaning goes wrong isn't the cleaner, it's the water line. You clean 1 cushion, it dries, and there's a hard tide mark around where you worked, and now the sofa looks worse than before you started. That ring is soil pushed outward by moisture and stranded at the drying edge, which is exactly why a 3-seat sofa is quoted at $150 to $250. A real part of that price is knowing how not to leave a ring. 2 rules, and it doesn't happen. Clean an entire panel, seam to seam, never a spot in the middle of one, and dry it fast, with a fan or a hair dryer on cool, moving constantly. Soil can't strand at an edge if there's no slow-drying edge to strand at. 1/2 cup of peroxide and 2 cups of warm water on a barely damp cloth. And test under the cushion first. Upholstery dye is far less stable than carpet dye, and this is the most likely place on the list to lighten something you care about. Number 9. It removes odor at the source instead of covering it, which is the entire deodorizing industry's business model. Most carpet deodorizers are fragrance plus a powder carrier. They add a smell on top of a smell. Nothing is destroyed, and in 4 days you're back where you started. Convenient, if you're the one selling the can. Musty basement carpet is compounds released by mold and bacteria living in the fiber. Smoke odor is tar particles stuck to the pile. Both are chemical structures, and both can be broken. Mist with 1 part peroxide to 2 parts water. Light mist, damp at the surface only, and let it dry completely with airflow. The peroxide oxidizes the compounds producing the smell, then breaks down into water and oxygen and leaves nothing behind, which is precisely why the room ends up smelling like nothing at all, instead of smelling like lavender pretending. For stubborn smoke, Twice light with a full dry in between beats once heavy every time. Now, when you should absolutely call somebody. If water got under your carpet and sat more than 48 hours, that pad is contaminated and no surface treatment fixes it. It gets replaced. If a stain is years old and has been repeatedly heat cleaned, the dye has set, you will lighten it, you will not clear it. And if your carpet is wool or silk, be careful. Those are protein fibers, and protein is exactly what oxidizers attack. For a real wool rug, pay the specialist. Safety, quickly. 3% only. Never mix peroxide with vinegar in the same container. That makes peracetic acid, which irritates skin, eyes, and airway. One after the other on a surface is fine, in the same bottle is not. Never mix it with bleach, and never with ammonia. Check your window cleaner, because a lot of them are ammonia-based. And store it in the dark. Light breaks peroxide down into plain water, which is exactly why it is sold in a brown bottle. If yours does not fizz on blood, it is flat. It is water now. Buy a new one. It is $1. That's 9. The one I would go do tonight is number 5, the soap rinse, because it is the only one that stops the problem coming back instead of cleaning up after it, and it costs about 40 cents a room. This channel is about the same idea every week. The cheapest fix is almost always the one nobody is making money telling you about. If this one landed, the next to watch is what a $1 bottle does in the room you would least expect. The kitchen, where the thing quietly growing inside your dishwasher door seal is why your glasses come out cloudy. That video is on screen now.